All right, everybody, with 10:15, we'll get this fired up. I hope, appreciate everyone moving to the center, and I think hope everyone had a good night last night. My name's Adam Seagar. I'm your session host from Jamf, so if you have any questions or you need anything, you can find me in the back, and I can kind of help you out with whatever comes up, and then I'll help facilitate the question and Q&A at the end of the presentation. So you're here today for Crowning Achievements, how Jamf helps power innovation at ECU School of Dental Medicine with Brooks. So Brooks, if you want to come up now, and we'll get fired up.
Perfect. All right. Welcome to my session, Crowning Achievements, how Jamf powers innovation at East Carolina School of Dental Medicine, also known as ECU SODM, which I may mention during the session today. So a little about me and my background. My name is Brooks Person. Along with graduating from ECU and getting my master's in health informatics and information management, I've spent the last 21 years working in information technology at ECU. 15 of those years of that time I've been doing Apple-focused technology support and have been working the last 12 years working in the School of Dental Medicine's education and informatics department as the system support manager supporting the dental school's faculty, staff, and students. Just as kind of a sidebar, I kind of wanted to bring this up. At ECU's dental school, the informatics team is primarily responsible for the support of healthcare systems and technology needs of the school, instead of the helping and collecting and analyzing of data, which is typically done at other institutions or other health organizations with informatics. Though we kind of do also help with that type of work if people do need it. So today's session overview, here's kind of what we'll cover today. We'll kind of start off with the unique environment at the dental school, move into how Jamf supports our work, and then explore automation and compliance while showing real-world user impact. As we go through each session, you'll notice a little crown tooth icon appear on certain slides. These will be our crowning achievements that show the power of Jamf in our environment. All right, so let me first start off with like a quick overview of the School of Dental Medicine. East Carolina University's School of Dental Medicine was established in 2006 to address the oral health needs of North Carolina, enrolling its first class in 2011. The map on the screen shows our reach across the state. It kind of blended in with the purple with the J-Note this year. I didn't do that, but along with the school's main location in Greenville, North Carolina, the school operates around 18 separate dental clinics, including 8 community service learning centers and several satellite sites across the state, providing dental care in rural communities and underserved areas. The school employs around 300 faculty and staff, supporting dental care and teaching approximately 200 students and 30 dental residents. So what makes the School of Dental Medicine unique? The School of Dental Medicine has received several awards for its educational model, including being recognized as an Apple Distinguished School for over a decade, with a focus on innovation in both education and patient care. We support a variety of Apple devices for students, faculty, and staff, requiring unique infrastructure and support strategies, particularly in our rural and satellite locations, where reliability and ease of use matter every day. All dental students are required to have both a MacBook and iPad and are highly encouraged to have an iPhone as well during their 4 years at the dental school. These devices are to be used in the classroom and in the dental clinics. We also provide both our faculty and staff with Apple computers and iPads, and a vast majority of our clinical workstations, I would say probably around 90%, are Apple computers. What also makes us unique is we strive to provide proactive IT support, delivering faster support that's vital in dental care, where established dental workflows and processes should not be interrupted with technology. So, what is Jamf's role at the ECU School of Dental Medicine? At the dental school, we leverage several Jamf products in our environment. Jamf Pro is our default MDM for both the computer and mobile devices. During the 12 years that I've been at dental school, we've leveraged a Jamf Pro on-site instance to manage these devices. We also use Jamf Connect, and it's leveraged for our faculty staff login authentication. And we've also purchased Jamf Protect, our security endpoint solution to secure student laptops. Altogether, they're our foundation for both academics and patient care IT support. At the ECU Dental School, medicine, there are several types of Apple devices that we manage, like iPhones, iPads, but in today's session, I'm just going to keep this focus on our computer side of things. So what is Jamf's role at the dental school? Our environments are blended. Students might spend the morning studying in the classroom and in the afternoon seeing patients from their computer. We rely on Jamf Pro's site feature to leverage smart and static groups to manage the different roles, while keeping the experience as simple as possible for our user. Jamf sites features allow us to separate devices into more focused user roles. That way, we can tailor specific configurations, security settings, and Jamf policies to each site of unique users instead of a site location. This separation helps us ensure that both the academic and clinical needs are met without adding unnecessary complexity in IT workflows. Jamf's smart groups helps us narrow down devices even more by name, location, or other criteria. This means we can push changes only where they are needed, whether that's a specific set of student laptops, faculty workstations in a certain location, or devices assigned to a certain clinic. We also leverage static groups. However, they're mostly used kind of like for exclusion of policies and maybe for like ad hoc policies that we do at the school. So what is Jamf Pro's, continuing on with Jamf Pro's role at the dental school, you'll notice the quote, "Don't lock down what you don't need to." Another way to read this is "Don't get in your own way." This reflects a shift in traditional IT thinking. We make sure that our compliance standards has a basis in reality. Clinical machines are locked down to meet actual compliance and institutional policy, but it should not be so tightly that users are frustrated. While for us, HIPAA compliance is crucial, it should not create unnecessary barriers for our users. When I started, everything was locked down. However, I was drowning in minor support tickets. Someone shouldn't have to call IT to get a mouse working out of concern of how users should use their workstation to keep it in compliance. The shift in mindset is also not about being lenient or allowing everything. It's about being intentional, giving users what they need while enforcing policy where it matters. We and most here probably prefer to be tasked with solving problems instead of facilitators in request. We use our overall organizational policies to fine-tune our Jamf instance, keeping clinical computers, like those in operatories or radiology stations, highly secured, while giving faculty and students the flexibility they need to balance patient care with academics on their own devices. And one of the first tools we used to leverage that we supported SODM, and I'm pretty sure everyone here in the room is using, is self-service. So, we use self-service to provide what I like to call tier 1 or even 0.5 support for all our areas. I kind of think of self-service as tier 1 support since it handles those simple asks before they ever become a ticket. We make self-service stronger by leveraging smart groups and setting policies to device Jamf Pro site where we can narrow down specific support tools to a specific department, even when there's an overlap in scopes of their day-to-day, all while still delivering high-touch service that our users expect. Our approach lets us tailor items in self-service like printers, applications, training, IT support to the unique needs of each type of Jamf site, be that clinical or student or staff. This way, self-service doesn't feel generic. It's a customized toolbox that makes sense for their day-to-day. This method for us makes it easier for users to find what they need and reinforces that IT is paying attention to their specific workflows. One thing we do in our department is leverage self-service with our unique IT fixes, where we have a special category in self-service that we like to call our SODM tech tools, designed for our technicians to sign into self-service to handle ad hoc issues quickly and effectively. So as you notice on the slide deck, there was quotes from one of our dental students, Nicholas. So while using self-service, He was able to see software updates, printers, install software, student licensed software without going through lengthy steps to configure the software himself or trying to find forms he needs to fill out to acquire the software, showing how our students can leverage self-service to quickly get the items unique to their dental education. Self-service for us is also not about convenience. It is also a great way to handle urgent system updates without disrupting our school's current clinical workflows. For example, one of my coworkers, Jerry, used self-service to enable a touchless deployment of a required device certificate for our radiology software that was expiring. Our macOS-based radiology viewer, Aiken Workstation, allows our dental, faculty, staff, and students to view and analyze radiographs and dental images. Because it handles sensitive patient data and connects to PACS, it requires a device certificate to authenticate secure communication. Without a valid certificate, the software cannot communicate with our dental health record system, leaving users unable to access patient imaging data. With just a one-button press, users of our Aiken Workstation software were able to quickly get back into reviewing x-rays. The old certificate was removed, application settings were configured, the new cert installed and validated, all without almost no downtime and a simple one-button press. And because our faculty and students don't always have the same work schedules, this self-service method ensured that everyone could get back up and running, meeting and treating dental patients. So, compliance is very important, but as I mentioned, it should not get in the way of people doing their work. Jamf Pro sites and smart groups are key in helping us with this. For setting configurations, it lets us keep our shared clinic machines locked down for compliance while giving faculty and students more flexibility on their devices. That's how we could help Paul. He needed pages installed again so he can convert an endo module lab manual from iBooks into an EPUB format that his students could use to help with dental care. Since his device was in the faculty's site, we gave him the flexibility to install pages from the App Store without creating extra risk. Once he completed the manual, once he was able to complete the manual, we were able to get the lab manual to the students. He created to them by using Jamf to directly push it to their desktop. Our students also have Jamf Protect installed to add another layer of security to their machines. And we also send data to Power BI for reporting so we can track compliance like software updates and or narrow down issues with software that we have. One of the things we've done is move all our devices to a certificate-based Wi-Fi. Every Apple device, whether it's a laptop, an iPad, or clinical workstation, connects securely without users having to manage passwords or go through extra steps to connect to the network. So network access is one of those things. If it's working right, no one thinks about it. But if it's not, we all hear about it immediately. We use SCEP certificate-based network profiles that are scoped directly to each device. In the screenshot, you notice how you can see how each certificate is tied to the user's email address. This allows us to verify the connection based on whether the certificate was issued by Jamf and whether the login is from a faculty, staff, or student. This is a unique setup. This unique setup also lets us separate student devices from other SODM devices at a network level, all without requiring students or SODM faculty and staff to jump through extra hoops to connect to our network. Once the profile is installed, the device connects automatically, no password entry, no manual connection that they have to go through. So Hope told us that Jamf has helped so much with streamlining and creating seamless learning. I think this is a great quote about our work. This network configuration is one of the many things that we do to make our user experience more seamless. So our students and others at the dental school can focus on classes, labs, and patient care instead of calling IT for help, and in this case, their network connection. So workflows through automation is one of the ways that we've been able to innovate. Our zero-touch deployment, when a Mac comes out of the box, it's provisioned through Jamf Prestage. The user authenticates with Jamf Connect using the just-in-time account creation, and then guided by Swift Dialog onboarding flow, thank you, Dan, so users know exactly what's happening and what to expect during their new workstation setup. We've also extended some automation into Microsoft Power Automate, using it to handle routine IT processes. One example is our admin rights approval, which users can request admin rights, and our team is notified by Microsoft Teams or an email on the request to approve or deny. Another is our flush-failed commands workflow to quickly get computers to respond to new profiles being pushed without manual interventions. We've also leveraged patch updates through extension attributes information and smart groups to install updates either silently or through a notification prompt. And finally, we've built a ticketing automation, or our quick ticket process. So this is our self-service quick ticket. One concern we heard over and over, especially from our rural locations, was how quickly to get support for IT issues related to their computers and our patient care systems. Besides giving everyone a giant "it's broken" button, this was our innovative break glass IT ticket solution that we created to help solve this problem, this concern. By leveraging Jamf Connect, or probably now the Self-Service Plus menu actions feature, we can point users to a Jamf self-service policy that launches a ticket window on the fly for these emergency situations. Anyone with Jamf Connect or the Self-Service Plus at the School of Dental Medicine can click a single item, submit a ticket. Device details are collected automatically from the computer, leveraging Jamf's information from a local plist. This way, the user creating the ticket does not need to fill out forms or track down the correct ticket for their issue. Just send us the request for IT support, and we'll handle the rest. And another automation, and one I kind of brought up earlier, is where we built a workflow to help with Jamf Pro IT tasks to clear failed MDM commands from Jamf Pro's management page. The overall workflow uses a launch daemon, a bash script, and a command to trigger Microsoft Power Automate API to call to clear out stuck MDM actions. So overall, the script and the tools are not that unique in themselves, but for us, the innovation and its impact on our work comes from how we deployed it. So instead of running the commands from Power Automate on a schedule, rerun it locally from each end user's computer on a cycle. This better matches real-world usage patterns. If a device is online, the computer can clear device management itself without waiting for a centralized process to clear the failed commands. For us, this means fewer manual interventions in Jamf Pro, faster recovery from failed commands, and ultimately reducing issues from configuration profile changes. Each process works as a small automation, but has a big impact because it works silently in the background, keeping devices in compliance and reducing the need for IT to review these commands when working out configuration policy issues. So with that, let's kind of pull it together. Let me pull our crowning achievements all together and kind of go over our big wins from our school environment. First, we've reduced frustration. We don't lock down what we don't need to, so that people can work without barriers while still protecting sensitive systems. Second, smarter support. We've automated IT workflows so we can respond quickly when patient care is on the line. And finally, empowered users. Faculty, staff, and students can get the tools they need without waiting on us. All of these are built on a foundation of Jamf. Every workflow, policy, automation we have implemented is designed with purpose, removing barriers, improving support, and giving people the tools they need to succeed, all while protecting what matters for our users and our school. Each one of these directly supports the achievements of everyone at the dental school, whether it's a faculty member preparing for a lecture, a student mastering a new dental skill, or a hygienist delivering patient care in one of our dental clinics. It's all possible with the technology, because the technology simply works in the background, allowing them to focus in on their mission, enabling innovation that directly supports the success of everyone we serve. So this is kind of my innovation vault. If you kind of want to see more examples of the workflows and scripts I've built, many of them with the help and inspired of the Jamf community, you can find them on my GitHub. Some of these projects didn't make it into today's talk, but they cover a range of use cases. One is displaying computer information to the user. Another is a user-friendly Jamf policy installer, and even a simple reboot display that I have up here. And with that, thank you, and I'll take questions.
All right, if you have questions, raise your hand and I can walk the mic right over to you. Got one in the corner.
Hey there. What's your fleet size you're dealing with at your institution? How many machines? Those kind of
Oh, yeah. So the dental school, so I'm kind of distributed IT, and we manage 900 Macs at the dental school and about 500 iPads and iPhones.
Do you standardize the Macs? Are they all kind of different for the use cases? Does that help you?
We go through a leasing cycle with our Macs, so we kind of make sure that the faculty and the students kind of all have the same machine, because they're rotating every 4 years. Okay. So in that 3 years, when we refresh the faculty machines, they're almost going to be matching what our students have at the same time. So they both are kind of using the same type of equipment, and they're having the issue on one of the faculty is having an issue, or a student's having an issue, and we kind of know because they're both kind of experiencing the same thing. Any other questions?
All right, gentleman down here.
So, Brooks, thanks for that talk. It was great. Can you talk a little bit more about what the difference is in what your students see in self-service and what your faculty see in self-service, and how you kind of use sites and smart groups to set that up?
So our students, a lot of the apps we see, like if we go through the App Store and like maybe purchase an app, we can provide that to them in self-service to get to. And then for the faculty, some of it's similar apps. So like all the books that the faculty and staff get, or we use a company called VitalSource to provide their books. So both of the faculty and staff may see that. But there's some software that like we provide that they just go through self-service to click a button to say that they want to get it. And then once they say that they want to get it, we then have it in self-service again for them to download and install. So we can kind of keep track of the licensing on those. Did that answer your question?
Hey, Brooks.
Hey.
Again, very good talk. I'm kind of curious, there's been quite a few things talked about at JNUC this year in terms of, new innovations and such. Are there any in particular that you're kind of looking at to, enhance the automation side, or, the streamline access for your faculty and students?
I'm kind of interested in some of the platform API stuff that's coming out to kind of make it simpler for me. And I know right now we don't have access to like Jamf routines, and that would make some of these webhooks a little bit easier for me to implement instead of having to like script them out. I'm trying to think of anything else and right now we're still on-prem, so we have a bigger project to potentially move to the cloud, so we can get some of these new DDM features for our environment.
That did actually bring up a follow-up question. How do you currently handle your webhooks?
Handle the webhooks? I just Using, mostly I just use the Jamf webhook feature to kind of like put them in there and then put them through Power Automate.
Power
To
Automate.
do it, yeah. Yeah, we don't use any other, I have access to, we're a Microsoft school and we're that, or Microsoft University and I'm the Apple school in there, so I kind of leverage off their Microsoft systems.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooks. Kind of a follow-on to your fleet makeup, and could you tell me a little bit more about how much you've got some BYOD devices as well as institutional devices? Is that
Like BYOD, we don't really have too many.
Device.
The students do purchase their own machines, but we manage their devices
Okay,
at the
those
school.
are-
So
those
part of
are-
the agreement when they come to dental school is that we're going to be managing their devices, since they'll be taking those into the clinics with them.
as institutional devices, not as their own devices?
Yeah, so we manage it as if it's an institutional device, but at the end of the 4 years, we give that device back to them. They can keep it and use it as they want.
Could you speak a little bit to that process and how you offboard those for?
So at the 4th year, they come in and we just have a process that removes all the framework and we all go through and make sure that they don't have anything that's sensitive on the device. We do kind of hand check those during that 4th year. But we do have like an offboarding process where I actually run a call to make sure that it's unenrolled and put the attribute in there. Because when you unenroll a device, you don't know if it's checked in or finished the process. And then it just goes through and we have some uninstalled scripts to remove anything sensitive like the clinical software that we have on the machine into that 4th year. And then we have them fill out some forms as it says that they don't have any sensitive data, and we kind of like send them on their way to their dental career.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Brooks? If not, Brooks, great job.
All right,
Round of
thank you.
applause.